In this video, I'm going to show you how to construct some caissons. So this is a little bit further into the chapter. This is the type of structure that we're going to do. So what happens is they drill into the ground until they get to some kind of suitable surface or material that can absorb the load or that can receive the load. And this type is called a socketed caisson. So basically this gray line, this gray area at the bottom, indicates the area that has suitable load bearing capacity. And you basically drill into that and then pour a concrete column into that space. Now, why would you use this type of foundation? Well, it depends. So in this example, we have some cabins that are sort of elevated above the slope. And perhaps the idea here was to not disturb so much of the ground plane. So these are the caissons right here, or perhaps sometimes referred to as piers. And those will support a timber frame construction above. We'll get to the details about that later. Another reason, and perhaps that's not the situation in this particular example, is that the suitable substrate is quite far down, and it would just be too cost prohibitive to do some kind of foundation wall. So instead, you might have a number of these caissons that could be 20 feet deep, for example. So I'm back in the Revit model, and these caissons are going to be over here on the right on column lines 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to go to level 1, and as you can see, all that's visible right now is the top of the slab for the adjacent structure. I'm going to type in VR to bring up the view range window, and I'm going to change this to unlimited. I might change it back later, but at least this will allow us to see everything that's below the view as it had been. Okay, so here I have the area where I'm going to be adding these caissons. What I need to do is go to Insert, Load Autodesk Family. If you type in concrete column and then run your search, you'll see that there is a concrete round column. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to load it. Okay, now when I go to architecture, column, structural column, there's a 12-inch round column now, and there are also some other sizes. I'm going to use an 18-inch column, and I'm going to go ahead and place it in the lower left-hand corner of that structure. And then I'm going to go to the south elevation. So I'm going to minimize some of these, south elevation, and take a look at it. Now, right now, it's going all the way from level 1 to level 0, and we may make some adjustments to this later. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to make the base offset, or the top level offset rather, minus 2 feet. Okay, and that will give us some space to add some of the framing members. And as far as how deep it goes, I don't know yet at this point. When we work on the topography for the project, we'll maybe make some adjustments. But for now, what I'm going to do is go back to level 1, and I'm going to make some copies of this column, click on it, copy, and I'm basically going to use my structural grid to locate those. And I will copy these 3. I'm holding down the control key as I click on them, copy, and I can snap to these column lines to place them. Oops. Okay, got some extras there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go to my 3D view. And there we have them. So this concludes this part of the foundation work for the Revit project.